The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly podcast. Recording this on a Wednesday night here with, of course, my guy, Robert Genius, of course, and Denny G. Look at that. Denny G's back. Oh, my God. What's up, Denny G? So, real quick, this is actually the first episode of, okay, so we've been doing for the last, last 6 months, 8 months, the False Count Anywhere. And I decided to change the name of the show because False Count Anywhere is pretty much too common. And like, if you look for False Count Anywhere on Apple or whatever, it's like so many False Counts Anywhere. I'm like, we're not doing that anymore. So I decided to change the name to the Earth Speaking Wrestling Show. So keep it simple, keep it within the ecosystem. So the first episode with Danny G.
What's up?
How you doing, buddy? It's been about a year.
Good. How are you? Good. Sorry, the earbuds weren't working, so now I can hear you guys.
Let me light up Rob real quick. Rob, right. You can't be still celebrating this bullshit NBA Cup title last night, are you?
Okay.
Hey, look.
The Lakers. Okay.
The Knicks got a cheer from something because they ain't gonna win a championship anytime soon. So.
Well, look, the Lakers hung their banner up, and they won this goofy tournament, and they hung theirs up in the arena. The Bucks hung theirs up last year.
Yeah.
And I think we got as many championships as the Bucks, so ain't no reason we can't hang one up either.
Although you guys are not doing it though. I saw a report today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I respect that, bro. I respect that.
Man, hang the damn thing up, man. Please.
You want to hang it up?
Why not? They won the tournament. They won it, didn't they?
You sound thirsty. Rob G, you sound thirsty.
Look, man, listen. If I win something on the court, I'm hanging the damn banner. Okay.
we know Celtic fans will do that.
The games count. It's during the season. The games count. Okay.
They do count. And the Knicks honestly have no excuse not to come out of the East. They should win.
No, not this year. Not this year. They better win the East year.
Yep, hands down, they should.
Yeah, and but in all seriousness, I mean, look, if it was a preseason tournament, I would say no. If it was some off-season tournament, I would say no. But the games count. And why not? And look, it's not the most embarrassing banner I've ever seen was the Washington Mystics. They had a couple of banners up for like having the most attendance in the league. Okay.
Not the what is it? Did the Colts pulling up something? AFC runner-ups or something like that.
But that wasn't a joke, right? That was real, right? That was a real thing, right? I remember that.
That stuff like that is embarrassing.
Yeah,
and having banners for attendance is embarrassing.
Look, I'm not opposed to having division titles banners. I'm not opposed to having conference title banners. Those are accomplishments. I get that. But runner-up, bro, really?
I know.
AFC runner-up. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Second place is first loser, right? That's the way it goes. So
that's what they say. That's what they say. So we have a lot to get to today. We are now living in a world where John Cena is no longer with the WWE.
Yep.
Now I've been very vocal about Cena. For me, like Rob already knows how I feel. Like I love Cena for the record, but I had no attachment to this farewell tour because Cena again was not my guy because his peak years I was not watching the product in real time. In fact, the most of Cena I've watched in real time was in the last 4 or 5 years. When I came back in 2019, he was not even a part time. He wasn't even involved with the company at that point. So he didn't come back till 2021. And so all my Cena stuff that I've enjoyed in real time has been way after his peak, So
yeah.
So it am I sad he's gone? Yes. Am I also like heartbroken and all this stuff? No. But is he still, in my opinion, Mount Rushmore? Absolutely. So I mean, let me. I guess we'll start here first. Let's get out of the bag. Everybody's mad about the finish. I have no problem with the finish personally. I don't know. I think I'm the minority on this too. Also.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought the match was good. I liked it. I like Gunther. I thought it was good. I thought the little grin with the tap was good. I enjoyed that because that was him basically like, yes, it's over now. You
think that's by design?
That's by design. He did that on purpose.
Okay.
100%. It's over. There's got to be some pressure for feeling like that you still had to kind of carry the company after all this time, and whether the whole farewell tour was good or not, it is what it is. It's over with. We can rip it. We can not like it. We can like it. Whatever. But I think the one thing that it accomplished was I think it made every wrestling fan appreciate John Cena. Because there was a period where he was loved, and then there was a period where it was Cena sucks, and that was constantly going on, and he was getting booed all the time. But then when he went away for a while and then he came back, the pops became really huge. And now I think on this last year that he went by, I think it made everybody realize, yeah, this guy's actually really good and he's entertaining and he's done a great job with his career. And it made me appreciate John Cena even more than I already did. I mean, he's not one of my all-time favorites. I won't say that, but I will say I did enjoy his work very much.
What was your problem with the finish? I know obviously you had a problem. We discussed the last one on the show when we did a preview for the main event, and you said that you want him to be, you didn't want him to go through over. You want him to win. You want to see him win outright, and obviously this finish, you're not happy with it, obviously.
Okay, not okay. I don't mind him losing.
Okay,
but to me, I mean, his whole thing was you don't give up, and that was his mantra for 20 years, and. You tell me where they've written off a character on a TV show or in a movie or whatever, where their last act was the antithesis of what they've ever been the whole time.
I get that, but I don't think the never give up meant tapping out. I think it meant never give up on your dreams.
I mean, I saw Shayna Baszler say that too. I'm like, no, just stop it.
No, I didn't even see Shayna Baszler say that. No. So I think
wait. What did she say?
She explained. She gave an explanation from the viewpoint of somebody who's actually fought in the and all of that. That tapping out isn't giving up, right? And I get what she's saying, but it's not a shoot fight. This is a story. It's a narrative and all of that type of thing. And
I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with you, Rob. I don't. But here's what I think. I think his was the problem with the whole night was. I honestly think they should have opened the show because I felt like the crowd was dead.
Didn't they say they were going to open the show anyway? I thought that was the announcement.
No, those dirt sheet bullshit.
Okay, see, fuck the dirt sheets, bro. Seriously.
Yes, Alvarez or something started that.
Fuck him too. Yeah.
But I think they should have had him open the show because the crowd would have been pumped. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then you do the show, you have the last match or whatever, and then you do an actual celebration after the fact. They did it with Goldberg, even though the TV cut off, which was funny, but they did it with Goldberg. So they should have done something like that because, I mean, I in a sense, he kept saying he didn't want the night to be about him. But I mean, like AJ and that whole match, like those guys got no reaction, none. Like when Javon and Leon Slater came out, I don't even know if the crowd even blinked because everyone was just anticipating, waiting for Cena, obviously. So I think that's where it kind of fell short. And then at the end of the night, they should have brought everybody out and done a big celebration, had Cena say a few words, and then you go off into the sunset.
Danny, where were you? We haven't spoken in a year about this at all.
Yeah.
Where were you on the whole farewell tour as a whole? 'Cause you remember back in March, he turned. They did the thing that for years people begged that they would never do, is they turn him heel, and they turned him heel. And then, of course, he goes back to babyfaces right before SummerSlam. Very convoluted way they did it. How did you feel about the whole thing as a whole in the last year?
It had its good points. It had its bad points. And overall, I'm going to say I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked the heel turn. I actually thought it was well done overall. I think I don't think it lasted long enough. I think they should have gone just a little bit longer, and maybe he turned face after putting Dom over, or something like that. But I liked it all. I think the problem with it all is Cena himself just didn't feel comfortable with it. I just think, because you can't be going to do these Make-A-Wish foundations when you're talking like he was talking. The things I enjoyed the promo when he did the CM Punk pipe bomb. I thought that was phenomenal.
See, I thought Cena's first 2 months as heel, when he turned, and at first the lead to the Mania match against Cody. Of course, the match was shit. The finish was shit because fuck you. What's his name? Travis Scott. Fuck him, of course. And then everything up to like the match against Randy Orton at Backlash, I thought was great. And then everything is teeter off from there. And my problem with the whole thing was that we didn't get a rhyme or reason why he turned back to babyface again. There was no reason why. He just did it.
He just did it. I think if you dig into it, I think that he wanted to be the face so that he could turn the torch over to Cody, who was also the face. That's the only thing I could think of.
Right.
Is that why he wanted to do that? But like I said, I agree. I mean, up until I think when he did the program with Punk, I think after that, you're right. It really went stale after that. And I mean, I thought, like I said, that when he did the pipe bomb, I thought that was fantastic. And he just, the whole Grand Rapids, you're welcome. And he dropped the mic. That was phenomenal. That was.
I also think the prop this thing was flawed because I gave it a C. Like I love the initial turn, but then everything else after that was kind of meh. When you have a calendar that you see a calendar ahead of you and you know the end point.
Yeah,
that hurts. That hurts it really because you're expecting. You've seen these countdown dates. Like, okay, there's 20 left and there's 10 left. I'm like, oh, okay. So now we're kind of predicting what's going on here. Everything that happened in the last 3 months has been predictable. Like we knew Gunther would be the last match. We knew Gunther would win that match.
Yeah,
which is fine, but it is kind of to me it fell flat at the end. Now, did he get? Look, we were able to celebrate him. That's honestly that's the most important thing was to be able to honor him and celebrate him in his career. To me, he's a Mount Rushmore guy all the time. He's everything Hulk Hogan we thought Hulk Hogan was growing up. I just thought I have a problem with the finish against Gunther. I just think the whole thing in general was just convoluted. There
definitely wasn't enough build up to that.
No,
they should have done the tournament earlier. Yeah. They should have had more build up to him and Gunther. I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Rob.
So, I guess to me, the whole it's the whole. When you look at the whole picture, is why I had a problem with the tap out. Like if he had a match with Gunther this summer and it tapped out, and then he had to fight back and redeem himself from that. That would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that was the end. And, he's the superhero guy. And now, if something like that happens to you, you get, they get a chance to come back from it and, square everything before the story is over.
Right.
But in this case, it happened and now that's it. There's nothing.
Well, you can look at him like he's Iron Man in the Avengers. Iron Man died for the greater good.
But that's the thing. But he didn't. But in this case, what greater good did he? There was no greater good.
We don't know yet.
Well, okay, true.
We don't know yet. We don't know what's going to happen yet. Honestly, who knows? He could end up coming back. You never know.
Oh yeah, I'm not convinced we wouldn't see another Cena match at some point. Or even a a random promo here or there. I don't think he's done with the WWE universe. That's a damn sure.
Oh no, didn't he? I think
Wait,
he just signed, right? He just signed a 5-year like ambassador deal or something.
Yeah,
that's a Beyond Legends deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And look, it's wrestling.
They're never done.
Look, if he can walk to the ring,
Yeah.
Unless his wife says no, like with Kurt Angle, because there was Kurt Angle's wife posted a picture of him, and he was like, he just look on his face like he wanted to get back in there from Saturday.
Yeah.
And she was like no chance. The caption was like no chance.
Yeah.
So
I mean it's nice to see him go out on his own 2 feet.
Whether or not you love or hate the finish, though, the fact that we have this meme now to live on is amazing. I mean, this meme here. I mean, it's kind of corny, but it's kind of it kind of it kind of explains the whole last year. Convoluted, man.
I don't like that it's the end and that's the end. Like, again, do that halfway through, give him a chance to fight back from it. You still have the meme. Gunther can still say made him tap out. You can still. I mean, you could have you can still have all of these things, but that should not be the end.
Yeah.
And because now that to me, it's like if I've made some analogy talking to some people, but if like it was All-Star. The analogy was All-Star Superman. That was the one Superman story where he died and did not come back.
Yeah.
But he died flying into the sun to save the Earth, so the Earth was saved, even though he didn't come back. And to me, this is like if he flew into the sun and then the sun went out anyway and got destroyed anyway. I mean, and so and look, I mean, and the people in the building, they gave it. They were pissed off at Hunter, because they did not come here for. They did not come there for.
Oh,
that.
he got booed. Like, who the hell?
Oh, because they didn't come there for that. They didn't come there for that. I mean, that's like, look, man. If you go to Metallica's farewell concert and they decide they want to play a bunch of country songs that night instead of playing Metallica songs, how you gonna feel?
Well, to be fair, Rob, they do have a country song though. To be fair.
Okay. Let's say
let's call Mama Said on the Load album. So I'm saying.
I'm so fed up with the crowds doing the whole trying to take over shows and trying to the online we want Cross and the whole thing. It's
I agree.
It's gotten out of hand and they've learned their lesson. Thankfully, they've learned their lesson and they want to boo Triple H all you want. It doesn't matter. So now Triple H can become an on-screen heel and maybe turn that into something. I can't stand that, but anyone who watches wrestling knows he wasn't winning that match.
Yeah, anyone with common sense. And look,
the only way I think it would have been better the whole time is if he retired as champion. If they were going to let him retire as champion, that would have been one other thing. But he clearly didn't want to do that. So, I don't have a problem with him tapping out. I actually think that it makes him look human in all this, even though he wasn't superhuman. He was supposed to be superhuman. He was supposed to be like the superhero. But I also think that the tap out leaves a little opening, a little for revenge. A little chance, Saudi Arabia 2027. Because if you think for 1 second they paid all that money and John Cena's ass is not going to be at that WrestleMania, no chance. He's
in some shape or form, whether he's performing or just talking or
even
something.
Even if he comes in and he gives him an F5 or something like that, whatever, or he costs Gunther something. That's how it's there's arguments to both sides, but I think Cena did the right thing.
Here's what I'll say. The finish will suck if Gunther does not pay this off in the next 5 months.
Correct.
Because that's why my whole reason. The reason why I was okay to finish is not because of Cena, because of Gunther was going to take him next. This is still part of a bigger story. You know, and people in the W universe go, man, booing Triple H. First off, guys, this isn't your story to tell. This is their story to tell. You choose to read it and watch the show or not.
Exactly.
This is their story to tell.
Yeah,
and the story is still ongoing.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, like I said, the hijacking stuff. It's they got to put an end to it. They got to put an end to it. Honestly, it cost Karrion Kross his contract. Let's be not that we were going to talk about that, but it cost him his contract.
Yeah, that's what I said about. That's what you said about that. Dan, let me ask you this. I know what Robert spoke on this already in recent weeks, but I'll ask you this.
I just wanted to add on the
go ahead.
Because that was because I mean you're right. I mean they were people, and I think people were being ironic more than anything, because I think he supposedly sold some T-shirts out of it, but it wasn't. I mean, the general audience. I mean, you could listen to like when he actually was in the ring.
Oh, it was dead.
Yeah, I was at SummerSlam. Okay, I was at night one of SummerSlam, and no, people did not. No, people. No,
I was Rob. That whole thing when that promo was in Providence. I was in the building at the show. It was a section around him that was chanted, "We want Kross." So it sounded a lot louder than it really was.
I bet, yeah.
You know, and they had, there was some people outside waiting for him, and that was a decent crowd. But you know what? There's always a crowd out there after Monday Night Raw. That's where they all go, because they know that's how the wrestlers come out to go to the hotel, which is generally right next door. So, you know, that's all. All right.
And it's just, I mean, that was an example. Yeah, that wasn't real.
No.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you were at any building that he was in, you saw for yourself it wasn't real. It was, so I'm not,
Thank you. Because actually, people have argued with me about it, and it's nice to have someone. Yeah.
Danny, let me ask you this question. I know Robert's feeling on this. We spoke on this last couple weeks leading up to this. What does John Cena mean to wrestling, to you, to the WWE? What, like, now that this is all over, what does John Cena encapsulate? What does he mean to you?
I honestly, I just think he's probably the first overall, like, I think, decent human being. You know, because I mean, we talk about all these guys like on the Mount Rushmore. You know, you got your Hogans, you got your Flairs, you know, Rock, Austin, and whatnot. With the exception of maybe The Rock, there's been some very negative publicity about all of the other Mount Rushmore people.
This
right?
is true. Yeah.
Now, it's not to say that eventually someday it won't happen with John Cena, but I think his legacy is he brought a very human aspect to the character and to the kayfabe part of it, where he stuck true to what he was, you know, the Make-A-Wish stuff. So I think that's his legacy overall. I think that he brought a human element to WWE besides the character. Besides the character, because I mean, the character wasn't like, you know, Hulk Hogan was like the Superman superhero, you know. And Rick
so he was a real Superman. He was a real,
you know,
superhuman character.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and Ric Flair was the flashy, you know, woo, like, you know, style and profiling guy. You know, Austin was the redneck badass. You know, The Rock was the Hollywood pretty boy. You know, and then you got Cena, who is just like the regular dude in the t-shirt, in the hat, and just wants to show up, go to work, leave, maybe do something nice for the fans, and then move on to the next one. So I think he leaves that to me. That's what he means to wrestling to me.
And you never, maybe you feel the same as I do, but you get the feeling that all that stuff he was doing for all those years is authentic to who he really is.
100%.
Like when I say that John Cena was everything we thought Hulk Hogan was in the 80s, in and out the ring.
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about. Like John Cena really is a real good dude. Like he really is a good dude.
Yeah,
and you get the feeling that the stuff he's doing is real and authentic.
Yeah,
but Hogan was not really, you know, Flair some degree, you know.
Yeah. I'll tell a quick story. I have a old high school friend through Facebook, whatever. And one time I shared a video of Cena doing a Make-A-Wish thing. And I was like, he's already done 500 of these. This is what, for all of you people that make fun of me for watching wrestling, look at what this guy does, So she Facebook messaged me and she's like, hey, she goes, I was at a Tampa Bay Devil Rays game and me and my son, who's a huge Cena fan, sat next to him. And he said he couldn't have been nicer to my son the whole night long. Mm-hmm. He's like, we talked to him. He's like, he literally made my son's year. And he goes, she's like, and he didn't have to do that. He was trying to just watch a baseball game and have some time to himself. But so that's John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, authentic and honest.
And he didn't have the best upbringing. I recently, another crazy story. I do sales for work. So right. I recently had a customer who would come in and, I always get into talking with them a little bit. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm from West Newbury, Massachusetts. And I'm like, oh, home of John Cena. She's like, oh yeah, I know the whole family. She goes, let me tell you something. She goes, he didn't have the best role models in his life. She said his mother is a saint, mm-hmm. Not so much his father. She goes, but he overcame it. And she goes, and what you see on TV is who he is.
Wow. That's amazing. That's really amazing.
I guess for me, one thing that sums it up for me, I think, this was 2018. It was December 2018. I went to the holiday tour and he was not booked for the show. This was when Daniel Bryan was world champion. He just turned heel and beat AJ Styles. They're supposed to have a rematch. AJ was sick, couldn't be there. And in the middle of December, Baltimore, Maryland, Cena fills in for AJ Styles. Show he's not booked for. Comes there, does the job. He puts over Daniel Bryan. Which, something he just didn't have to do that. Wasn't booked for the show, right?
Nope.
I mean,
nope.
He comes all the way to Baltimore in the middle of December when there's snow and everything on the ground. Comes there and puts over Daniel Bryan. And I mean, that's just, to me, that's the dedication he had to, some of these other guys wouldn't have done that. Like Hogan wouldn't have done that. Hogan wouldn't have flown in Baltimore.
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
No, I mean, he wouldn't.
Creative control card, brother.
Yeah, he wouldn't have come in. He wouldn't have flown into Baltimore to fill in for somebody, right?
Yeah.
Like in the middle of a holiday tour that he wasn't booked for. But Cena did that and didn't, and he didn't half-ass it out there either. They didn't just do something. They didn't just roll around for 10 minutes and then go to the finish. They put on a pay-per-view quality thing that night.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan. So he came in there, filled in, brought his A game, and did the job in the middle of December during the holiday tour, in snowy Baltimore, Maryland.
That's good stuff.
And, and a guy of his stature, to come do that, right? I mean, most guys of his stature in that business, like, no, they're not doing that.
No.
But he did,
That's good.
And that's the type, that's the thing, that's, you want to look for something to admire him about. Like, that's it right there for me.
Yeah. Here's a good question before we get to the next topic. Because obviously he will get into the Hall of Fame. That's without question.
Yes.
Who should be given the honor to do that?
Ooh.
That's tough. I was thinking about that a couple of days ago. I was like, that's tough. Who should be give the honor to induct John Cena? It can't just be anybody. You know this already. It's gotta be someone that matters.
Okay, if I were to pick somebody, I'd probably pick Randy because they came in together.
Mm.
And Randy had like a pretty long Instagram post where he talked about them, coming in together and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably pick Randy. Because Randy probably knows him better than anybody there. And they fought each other so many times. That's my first pick. Yeah,
that's either that or CM Punk.
Yeah,
I think
that's not bad either.
CM Punk, yeah. I mean, you could say Brock potentially, but Brock's not going to do it. That's not him.
Brock hates,
I can't see.
Brock hates people.
Right, and I can't even see him induct anybody.
I know.
He's very awkward that way.
Yeah. Randy's a good one. But for me, I think I would do Punk. I think that would be very entertaining. But who knows? It'll probably be Triple H because he'll just want to put himself out there. So,
boring.
You know.
Although there is some cross pollination there. They were rivals too, also as well.
Yeah,
so you can make that work. To me, the guy who should do it but probably won't be able to do it because he's still toxic is Vince.
Oh, well,
yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. Vince gets a lot of credit for these guys, but it's the hard work that they put in that ultimately does the job.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you think of John Cena feuds, I agree. You think of John Cena, you think of Cena or you think of Cena Punk. And then if a close third to me would maybe Cena Edge, but
that's not what's a good one.
But I would only say maybe Edge because he's also a Hall of Famer. But I think my first pick would be Punk.
Yeah. If you had to go wrestler, I think obviously Randy is probably the easiest of the bunch because it's the class they defined that era, the Ruthless Aggression era. Those two guys, the top two guys of that era. I mean, like I said, Vince would be perfect, but Vince again, he's toxic, so not going to work. But you said Edge also too. I had Edge in my mind as well too. Also, I still think another one you look at is just because of the legacy and how big that company is and what the guy who was, other than Cena, the greatest employee in the history of the company, the Undertaker, can be another one that could do it because he's that level of importance in the company.
He is, but they didn't really have.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
It'd be more for a business reason, not so much.
There's a lot of good choices. There's a lot of good choices, which means that the one who gets picked will be the wrong one.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, look, Kevin Owens would be a good pick. I mean,
those two are tight.
Yeah, when he came out.
Yeah, those two are tight, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good options, but yeah, Randy or Punk, I think would be the best.
Right. The only other takeaway from this show that I cared about, which I saw and enjoyed, was Oba Femi. I don't watch NXT normally. I know you do, Rob. I'm not sure, Danny. I'm not sure, Danny, if you watch NXT normally.
I do. I pay attention to it very much. I'm not going to say I watch it the full 2 hours every week, but I do pay attention. I make sure I know what's going on.
I know the names. I can hear it. I have my friends of mine who tell me this guy's great. Joe Henry, blah blah blah. And he's got watching his Cody. He's like, oh, this guy's ready. He's ready now.
Oh, he's. I actually was. I remember I went on Duke's podcast way back, right before they were going on the CW. And I had, like, my grand plan for them to start on the CW was to put the NXT title on Dominic, right? Have Dominic take it into opening night on the CW, and then have Oba destroy him and start the Oba era and run the Oba Femi era with the title for a while. Go a year to 2 years. Give him a dominant run, because I think that guy is everything you want. Everything. The accent, I say get rid of the accent. He doesn't need it, but everything else, strap a rocket to that guy.
I mean, the dude literally wrestled arguably the biggest name in the company currently, not named Roman Reigns, and had a phenomenal match. He's ready. He's ready to call. I imagine he's going to get called up for WrestleMania or around WrestleMania.
I think he'll be up eventually. I think the thing is now is they got a good thing going on NXT.
Yeah,
it's doing pretty good ratings. They got to worry about that too. They can't.
Yeah, because I mean that's the tricky part about them being on like a network now is like you need to have like a regular recurring cast of characters, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you can't be so quick to send people up if the audience is familiar with somebody and they're really clicking with them. You kind of need them to stick around and carry the show.
Yeah.
So you can't just send people up so fast.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I think Trick is still down there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because
You know,
And honestly, Trick is much better off for having stayed the extra year because he's
yeah,
a much better guy now than he was a year ago.
he's another one who I think is the serious future. I love
Yeah.
Trick.
Oh
I've
yeah.
like I remember when seeing him with Carmelo and being like, I know he's the sidekick, but kind of like he's gonna have a better uh, main roster career than Melo will.
Oh yeah. And then look, once he gets up there and gets on the mic regularly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He's a big guy too.
Oh yeah.
I've seen him live twice
Yeah, me
up
too. Yeah.
close,
So
and he's a big guy.
I do think
yeah.
also if I want to funnel out some of these guys who are retiring or who are about to be part timers again, we have rumors about other guys. We'll touch on that in a second. But like with Cena leaving now, that's a space there. Some of the other guys who are not going to be as full time in the next year or two, funnel them out a little bit, and because you don't want to throw them in. To your point, you don't want to throw them into a roster that's right now jacked up with top guys doing all
Yeah,
top
that's
guy
the other
things,
thing.
and he gets lost.
Yeah.
There's no space. Oba
Yeah.
Femi is a guy that should be that might be a main eventer. He might be the next Gunther type.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be Oba than Braun Breaker. I can tell you that.
Say it again.
I'd rather Oba be in that spot than Braun Breaker.
You not a Braun Breaker guy?
I am not a Braun Breaker guy.
Really?
Not
Why?
at all. Because I first of all, he's not a heel. He's a puppy dog baby face. So trying to act like he's all like, big and bad and nasty, and he wrestles like a baby face. You know what I mean? So I didn't like him in NXT, and I don't like him now. And I don't think he is a guy that's going to be able to carry the company.
Funny enough, I actually see what you're saying. Funny enough, I actually not necessarily agree with you, but I do see your point there, because his dad was a babyface through and through.
Oh yeah,
and he's literally his father, Rick.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete, and he can wrestle, and he's not like bad at his job. I just don't think he'll ever develop the proper character skills unless he somehow comes off like a Rob Gronkowski, like plays like a meathead. You know what I mean? But you piss the meathead off and he becomes the badass.
Yeah.
You can do something like that. But as a guy like a heel, like, come on, he's not being CM Punk.
You just said meathead. It made me sad now because of Rob Reiner. Oh yeah. Oh man, God, still recovering from that one, honestly.
Yeah, it was. He was just on the Bear, Rob Reiner. He just had a really, really good role on this last season of the Bear.
I follow everything he did, not just movies, but also in politics. Every time he talks, I would listen. If he's on a show, Pierce Morgan, Bull Maher, whatever, I watch the show because he's on there, because I like his candidness about things, about the world at large. He's a good man. We did get the reveal of the hooded man finally on Raw this week, and it is none other than Austin Theory. And
you want to go first, Rob, or you want me to go?
What do you think? I mean, are you okay with that, Rob? Is that
okay?
Now, real quick, before I ask you, he's been off TV for a while, right?
Yes, I think he had some. I think he had an injury.
He was hurt.
Okay, so this is a rebrand, I guess.
Yeah. So, okay. He fits the group because if you remember, at one point he was with Seth Rollins, so he has every reason to be with a bunch of guys who have issues, who don't like Seth Rollins. He has every reason to be with them. And I know a lot of people that I talked to just were underwhelmed. I think we should see what he does. I know a lot of people. Some people, people I talked to have soured on him ever since.
Cena pantsed them.
That, and then that, and then a year or two before that, he got caught up in some of that Me Too stuff because it was weird.
I didn't know any of that.
Oh well, just some teenage kid went on social media and said that he had contacted them, and it never got any further than that. But
yeah, but still,
so a lot of people I know just kind of were like, I don't want to see this guy.
I feel like him, like I do about Breaker. I think same type of thing. I just don't think he's ever. I think the thing is with him is, I mean, with Breaker, we still really don't know, but he could completely prove me wrong. I mean, I didn't think Dominic Mysterio would be anything, and now he's fantastic. So I was wrong on that one. But you get to like with Theory, like he's had a couple of chances. You know, they put him with some. You don't get to do a program with Cena and The Rock because they don't believe you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he got it, and he didn't do well. He fumbled. And
do you know why
think,
though? Cause I love the character, the original character, the whole cell phone and all that. That was cool.
Yeah, it was. You know, the golden egg was not cool.
But here's the deal. He's a Vince guy. Vince loved him. Yeah. The reality is he's really a mid Carter. He's a mid Carter.
Well, that's
the top guy.
Yeah.
I think that's. I personally, I was hoping that guy was going to be either. Well, I'll say this one now. I don't think he's the only one. I think there's something else going on. There's going to be another guy that comes down in a mask either next week or the week after or something like that. I would have rather been like Ricky Starks or Montez Ford, even.
I agree with that.
You know, maybe even Ethan Page. You know, something like that. You know, someone that they're going to give a chance to. Something they're going to give a chance to. I feel like Theory's already had his chances. You know, the guy looks like $1 million. Don't get me wrong. But you're right. I think he's a mid-carder. I think he's a tag team wrestler. You know, I think the tag team with him and Waller was fantastic. I did enjoy that, but you know, I just don't think that. I don't think he adds anything at all.
I'll say this much: if this don't work, then nothing's gonna work.
No.
Yeah.
He's had, you know, if this don't work and he fizzles out, he's the next round of cuts.
Yeah. And like he's a mid Carter, and that's not even as a diss, really. I mean,
no.
You have a really great career as a mid Carter, right?
I mean, hello. So the biggest wrestlers of our time.
Yeah.
Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. I mean, all mid Carter guys.
But I think we're calling him that after he's rubbed shoulders with Cena, after he's rubbed shoulders with the Blood, after he's rubbed shoulders with a bunch of other people. We got to see all of that, and our judgment basically is that he's a mid Carter.
Yeah.
After. Like he's like you said, he's not a guy that hasn't had a chance. He's a guy that's been with the top people and who looked like a mid Carter standing next to them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But yeah, I think this is. And look, I'm willing to give it a chance. You know, because
I am too. I like him.
Well, to me, I think. People need to be consistent. I think you can't say, well, give this guy a chance, and then the other person over there, you give them no chance, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna say that, then I think to me you need to be consistent, and you can't say let it play out over here and then not and not do it over there. So
I mean, I think the story is going to end up being. I think that something's going to happen with Logan Paul. I think they're going to kick Logan Paul out of there somehow, and because they get a little while before Rollins comes back. Although that's how I think Punk is going to beat Breaker. The first show of the year is I think Rollins comes out and costs Breaker the match to set up. That continues the CM Punk Rollins story too, which still hasn't closed.
Right.
So right now the group is division. Right now the group is obviously Paul Heyman is the leader, of course, but you have a Breaker, you have
Bronson
Reed, and Logan Paul, and now
Austin Theory.
Okay. Yeah, and Brock whenever Brock shows up, basically.
Yeah, you're right.
Brock's like a hired gun, I guess I'm calling it.
He's the hired gun. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and that's a good way to keep the Heyman Brock thing, still a thing. Yep. Speaking of which, there have been rumors, and not confirmed by WWE though, but there are a lot of rumors that Brock Lesnar plans to retire next year at SummerSlam. He is 48 years old. He came back at this SummerSlam this year. It would be fitting because SummerSlam is, I would say, Brock Lesnar. If Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania, I think Brock Lesnar is Mr. SummerSlam.
Agreed.
So it would make sense. Now I don't expect him to get the same pomp and circumstance like Cena got because
no,
characters is different. Nor does he need it.
He won't
But I
want it.
think
He doesn't want it.
He don't want
That's
it.
not-
That's not his thing. He don't want
No,
that.
it's not. That's not his thing at all.
No. No.
If you ask me, he don't want that.
No,
You know.
because just hearing him talk and hearing like Heyman talk about him, he doesn't like being around people anyway. Just doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally like he comes out there, he does his work in the in the ring or whatever, and he immediately gets the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And because he's talked about it. He has like real like serious like
Anxiety issues.
Anxiety issues and stuff going on. So he doesn't.
Which is why his first run didn't do so well because he
yeah
left early because he can handle the being top guy.
yeah, and so he likes to come out there, do his ring work, and then
get out of Dodge. Yep.
So they're not going to do all that big ceremony type of stuff with him. So I imagine now he's somebody. Yeah, I mean he'll come out. It makes perfect sense for him to come out there, put somebody over, and then leave.
Well, that's my next question. Who would you choose? Is Gunther again?
It's gonna have. It's gonna have to be.
You got because you got to do. Look, you got to do big stuff with Gunther now. You can't just.
Yeah, you're right. You have no choice.
You can't squander that. We have different opinions about the way it went, but now that it's done, you can't squander that. You have to go, pedal to the metal with him at least for the next year and see how it goes.
Yeah, he's got to end Brock too.
Yeah.
He did Goldberg, he did Cena, he did Brock, and that kind of can squash that. Three of the top stars of that era.
He's the new legend killer.
Personally, look, I would have him beat Cody for the title at WrestleMania.
Brock?
Yeah, Gunther.
He could.
I would.
To me, I think you gotta no limits. Because you put him in that position now where, if you cut him short at all, it's good. It's gonna look like he wasted that.
Yep,
thing.
I agree.
So can't waste it. Because you can't.
I am curious to what kind of story you can tell with Brock, because unlike Cena, because it's unofficial, there's no calendar right now there's no official calendar to work against right now. Like this is all rumored. This is all dirt sheet stuff. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of noise. I'm curious how they would write the story for next year for Brock, because I still think Brock. And for record, I said earlier in the podcast, I'm not a Cena guy, but I'm a Brock guy, definitely. Brock is one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time.
I don't know.
Every time he's around, I love when Brock Lesnar's around.
I don't know how you do it yet. I don't know. That's a good one. That's something to ponder for the next episode.
Yeah. I'm really curious how they go about telling that Brock story to end it, because it won't be as clean as Cena's. So right now, it'll be very, very convoluted, and he still will be a kick ass. How he is, and then he'll walk away and leave. That's it, done.
Yep, agreed.
Very, very anti-hero type thing.
Well, because the way they've been doing it the past couple of years, whoever wins King of the Ring gets a title shot at SummerSlam. So if Gunther does win the title from Cody or whatever, you just have Brock win King of the Ring and challenge him at SummerSlam, and then then he puts Gunther over, and then he can leave his boots in the ring if he wants to, and or he can just he can send out the signal that it's over, where he wants to, and
Yep, but that's if it's even true.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not like the guy does what 5-6 dates a year when he's around. So it's not like he couldn't be like, hey, I can still stick around for a little while.
Unless the company is forcing him to commit more dates. I don't know.
I don't think
now.
He's still young enough too. You know what I mean? Where you can bring him in as a special attraction when you need.
He's only 48. Like you have Chris Jericho wrestling much more matches than he is right now.
Yeah,
quite a lot.
And there's rumors that he's gonna be back soon. So
very, and those rumors are strong too. Also, another guy he could retire. WWE's gonna have a lot of guys in the next couple of years, they're going to be put in the pasture and have a chance to really and bookend their careers now as they retire them, and then open the door for more space for other guys to climb the mountain.
Yep.
Jericho's another one. Like I said, it's interesting. Fellas, is Bret Hart losing the shit because he did an interview with some Johnny some dude. I'll play part of this interview he did like a couple weeks ago.
No, you don't have to do all this.
I'll play. Okay,
I'm with Rob on it. So
I'll preface it. He's basically making some claims that basically Vince was sleeping with Shawn Michaels and all this shit.
Okay.
And had to do with the fact that the pushes he was getting and whatnot, or lack of pushes and stuff.
Okay.
I love Bret, man, but Bret something's going on with Bret, dude.
Well, okay, so I just gotta have a general rule that after a certain point, stop asking these guys the same questions, because whenever they ask, they always ask about the screw job. They ask him about Owen dying. They ask him stuff about Vince all the time, over and over and over and over, right? And like don't ask John Moxley about the WWE creative process, because whenever you ask him, he gives you the same answer.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard his answer a million times, right? Stop asking him. Stop asking Bret stuff like this, right? Just stop. We've heard it, okay? And they ask him this stuff because basically they know it triggers him, and he's gonna he's gonna give you a pissed off sounding answer about it, because he always does. And it's just, to me, it's just their engagement baiting, because they know he's going to say something wild, because to him it's still a very sore spot in his life, all that stuff that happened.
He's never got over it. He said that he got over it. He's never got over it.
He's not. He probably never will. And they know that when they ask him about it. And so to me, I don't listen to it now. I don't read it. I don't click on the links. I don't bother, because that's why they're doing it. And it just, look, he's got however he feels about everything is how he feels. I don't need to see anybody ask him again and again and again.
The funny thing is, Rob, the funny thing is that outside this particular situation, the interview he did a couple weeks ago, everything he says, even though he comes off as whiny and bitter and resentful and all this stuff, you never get the feeling he's lying either. He's just direct and honest, and he'll say it like as it is, and he doesn't care how it comes out. He's not very self-aware, but I also don't get the feeling he's lying either.
Well, no. I think he believes what he's not making shit up.
Right.
I think he believes what he's saying, or at least he honestly, or he thought it at some point or something. But I just don't need to see people keep asking him. We know how he feels about all that stuff, right? He's talked about it a million times.
Yeah.
Stop asking. I don't need to hear it anymore.
People are obsessed with a bunch of screw job. People are obsessed with him and and Shawn and him and Vince.
Okay, and that's fine. But they got documentaries, they got videos, people have written about it,
TikToks and different.
They got a million things about it. If you want to hear about it again, or if you want to watch some stuff, people talking about it again, there are plenty of places where you can go learn about it or hear about it again. Jim Cornette has a whole anthology, because he was working there when it went on, and he has a whole anthology of his kind of view of everything while it was going on.
Yeah,
you can go listen to that. Okay, heck, you can go, if you really want to hear about it some more, you can go listen to that from somebody who was there, okay, and who was not Bret, okay, and and just give you a nice third person account. Stop asking Bret. It's like, I'm the worst. Okay, I don't need people to keep asking me about that.
Yeah.
If you've talked to me, if I've talked to you about it, you talk to me about it, then you know my thoughts and my feelings on the whole matter. Okay. So anybody who needs to know what I think about all of that knows what I think. Okay. Right. And there's no need to, for anybody to ask me about it over and over and over. There's nobody that they keep asking Bret Hart over and over and over about the Montreal screw job and about Vince McMahon.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now people are just doing it. They're doing it to get him to say something provocative so they can get traffic off of it. And it's just, yeah.
By the way, Rob, Danny's also a cat guy like us.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so Danny's a cat. You got a cat. I got 2 cats here.
I got 3 cats technically.
You got 3 cats?
I got my wife's 2. Yeah, my wife's the crazy cat lady.
So's my wife. My wife loves cats. But I'll tell you what though, my wife got me into cats heavily. They're so easy.
They're easy. They're easy.
They're easier than dogs. I love dogs, but dogs are much more tougher to. They're much more.
You got to pay attention to a dog. Cats don't
have to. Yeah.
They come to you when they want attention.
Yeah. Just clean their litter, feed them, and you're good.
Yep.
And pet them every 5 hours. That's it.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Danny, on Bret Hart and
I'll make this kind of quick. I feel the same way about Bret Hart that I do about Hogan and Flair and Russo and Mick Foley and all of these retired wrestling veterans. Shut up and go away. I don't want to hear your mouth anymore. I don't care what you have to say about anything anymore. You need to live with the fact that you're not relevant anymore. You need to move on with your life and just stop talking. To keep yourself in the news.
Right. The thing is, I don't know if I agree wholeheartedly with the whole relevant part because they're still getting bookings. They're still getting the podcast. They're still a name. And look, they're making money. You know, so maybe hand over fist some of them anyway. I guess the problem is the topics. Like in Bret Hart's case, it's more about the whining and the over whining
and that's why I'm saying go away, because it's never just hey, it's always woe is me.
Right.
With every time I see a quote for him, it's just like, what are you doing? Let it go. It's time to move on. And like every time I see Ric Flair in the news, I wanna throw up, because it's like they're taking the good memories that people have of them and they're ruining them, is what they're doing. Like I was never a big Bret Hart guy.
Really?
I saw. No, not at all. I think he's so overrated. It's not. But it's
damn, that's a take. Oh God.
No, but he did some good. He had some good work and he had some good matches. Yeah, he was never a major draw, But a lot of people liked him, and a lot of people have good memories of him. And when you go and you start moaning and groaning, and there's one of the cats right now, right in front of the cut me off.
That's Kitty.
But when you go on and you embarrass yourself like these guys do, you ruin the good things that people remembered you by. Like when I think of Ric Flair now, I don't think of the styling and profiling guy that gave the awesome promos that I used to run to my TV on, for TBS at 6:00 on a Saturday night to see Ric Flair give a Full Horseman promo, because they were legendary. Now when he opens his mouth, I want to punch him and tell him to shut up.
I will say Ric Flair has gotten very annoying the last couple of years. That I will say.
Well, put it this way. Well, his own daughter said that she blocks him sometimes. Okay.
Charlotte did?
Yeah, she said yes. She said yes in one of the interviews. She said that sometimes she blocks him.
Yeah.
So
that's funny.
So that she doesn't see whatever crazy stuff he's saying today.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, Bret's is very bitter. I get it. I get it.
But go ahead. Just for me, like I'm with Danny. Just stop asking these guys. Like, there's nothing new for them to say.
Nothing good comes out of it ever. It gives the guys that we all don't like clickbait and reasons to get people to go to their pages and to check to check them out. If Chris Van Vliet wants to sit down and do an interview with Bret Hart, I guarantee you he doesn't talk the way he is with these other people. He's going to talk. He's going to get good questions and stuff like that. He just the guys that are talking to them now are just like Rob said. They're just trying to get clicks, and it gives these guys a chance to keep themselves in the news. And I'd rather them just keep themselves in the news by being quiet, doing their appearances, because people are going to show up.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's showing up to meet Bret Hart at a wrestling convention because of the dumb things he says. They're showing up because of the memories they have of him putting the little sunglasses on kids and stuff like that.
Of course. Which now leads to the last topic of the night. Another legend who's having issues. Mick Foley has recently stated that he's no longer dealing with WWE. I'll read quickly his statement he had yesterday. It has to do with politics, obviously. He says, while I have been concerned about WWE's close relationship with Donald Trump for some months, especially in light of the administration's ongoing cool and humane treatment of immigrants, reading the president's incredibly cruel comments in the wake of Rob Reiner's death at the final straw for me. I no longer wish to represent a company that coddles a man so seemingly void of compassion as he marches our country towards autocracy. Last night, I informed WWE Talent Relations that I would not be making any appearances for the company as long as this man remains in office. Additionally, I will not be signing a new Legends deal when my current one expires in June. I love WWE, and I will always treasure my time with them, and I'm deeply appreciative of the opportunities they afforded me. But in the words of Popeye the Sailor, quote, I stands all I can stand, and I can't stand no more. This is a little more principled than Bret, I would say. My thing is, I mean, so you're not going to do anything for no 3 years and then come back when Trump's gone? That's why I read this.
All right. Here's my issue. First of all, I don't want to talk politics. I don't care. I am the one person who will separate a human being from their political views all day long. I don't care. I don't care. To me, what your political views are don't make the type of person that you are. You know, maybe, I may not agree with you. I may not, whatever, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. If he wants to do, first of all, when's the last time he made an appearance for WWE? I can't even think of when he's been on anything.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Okay.
So that's one. Two. Second thing is, if this is how you feel and you want to do it, fine. All the power to you. Why the grand announcement? Why do you have to go on social media and announce that you're doing this? To get attaboys? To get, yay, good for you, Mick. Good dude, you stand up. To me, if he was a real professional and he wanted to do this, he just says to WWE privately, I'm sorry, I can't support this anymore. I won't. I'm not going to sign a new Legends deal. Have you been offered one? You know what I mean? Have you been offered a renewal? First of all, Second of all, just go away. Again, go away quietly. You don't need to make some grand announcement, because when you do that, you're asking for attention. You're looking, Mick, he loves to be loved. He loves to be that, oh, he's such a great guy and all this other stuff. So that's my issue with the whole thing.
He does wear his politics on his sleeve, though. He is very vocal about his politics. Has been for years.
Be vocal. It doesn't do anybody any good. Nothing good comes out of it. Because as many people, especially now, as many people as he may be getting attaboys from, he's got other people that are going to say, screw you, then go away. I'll never worry about you again. And, if he's well off enough where he doesn't need the money or whatever it was they were paying him, or whatever he gets to do, I assume it's like a baseball Hall of Fame type thing where, if like with Pete Rose, if you're not part of the league, you can't sign MLB, or you can't sign anything WWE related and stuff like that. I don't know if that's the case here, but it's just to me, just standing on your moral high ground never does you any real good in life. I think it makes you feel good for a little while and you do the right thing, but things like this tend to come back to bite you. And especially like I saw a thing today where he's coming out and he's supporting Vince in the whole, case with the sexual assault and stuff like that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. He's had a few quotes where he's like, I don't want this to ruin anything about Vince. I love Vince, stuff like that. All right. So, to me, what Trump said was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. I won't lie. I truly believe that. Yeah. But if the allegations about Vince are real, those are just as disgusting. You know, I guess the only difference
if not worse.
I guess the only difference is we, you know, whether you support Trump or not, you know, he's kind of a scumbag. You know,
Yeah.
We don't know if this stuff about Vince is actually true yet. That's the only thing. So my whole point was just go away quietly. You don't need to make a grand spectacle of it to get the attaboys. That's how I feel.
Rob, what do you think about this?
Okay, so generally when it comes to celebrities or entertainers making political statements, I guess for me, just if you're going to do it, okay, fine, but just understand, like you were saying, Danny, look, you're going to get some people are going to pat you on the back, some people are going to do the opposite, and if you're if you're willing to take that, take both as they come, okay, fine. I guess where I kind of get irritated with people is when they jump out there and say it or whatever their beliefs are, and then they get upset if there's a backlash to it, right? Or if they get upset if some people are no longer fans of theirs because of what they said, and then they get upset about that. It's like that's the chance you're taking when you jump out there like that.
Yeah.
And it's also the chance you take. I mean, and like with the Vince stuff, when you step out there and say I'm doing such and such on principle, I mean, okay, you're opening up all your other decisions to scrutiny. And
he knows that. I think he knows that too.
Well,
also.
and so to me, okay, as long as you're okay with that, I mean, just to me, don't, because too many times people jump out there, they'll jump out there and they'll make their statements or whatever you, but then they don't like it if some heat comes on them, And look, everybody who worked under Vince has basically a whole lot of complicated, conflicted feelings about it, right?
Including John Cena.
Because look, Vince literally made decisions that affected their careers that enabled them to make a whole lot of money. And look, at most of those folks, most of them were not rich before they got in the wrestling business. Most of them were regular people working regular jobs or whatever. And by way of, of course, look, they had to put the work in, they had to perform. They had to perform well enough to get over all that type of stuff. But, the opportunity to get to do that was a result of Vince McMahon's decisions.
Yeah.
So to that end, I mean, look, they all feel like they owe the man something, right? If he's stone guilty of everything he's been accused of, they still owe him for their careers.
Yeah. Yep.
And so they all got conflicted, contradictory kind of feelings about him.
It's because they know him. It's because they know him. And and it's like, I mean, Mick Foley can say what he wants, but he don't know Donald Trump like he knows Vince McMahon.
Right. Yeah, and the thing
you know
is,
what I mean? So so he's making a comment on the perception that we all have about number 52 or whatever he is. And but he's supporting Vince because he knows Vince on a personal level. He doesn't know the president on a personal level.
And that's
it's skewed.
It's skewed. Yeah. So that's the thing. And it's just my personal belief, guys. It's like I feel like sometimes people will quit a job because they say, "Oh, I can't work at a place like that. I can't." Like, he didn't really work there, but I know people who are like, I can't work for a place that does this. And then they immediately regret it because they go somewhere else and they realize the grass ain't any greener anywhere else. You know what I mean? Just I think things like moral high ground are things to be kind of kept between you and your family, and to keep for the people that are important around you. Like if Mick's family is supportive and they're like, we want you, we're supportive of you, that's fine. And if that's the approval he was seeking, go for it. But again, to put out a general statement like a big old attaboy, because Now you're putting WWE in the news. Okay, you're getting them in a headline, and you got like I said, you got people who are going to be like, "Good for you, Mick," and you got people who be like, "You're like me. You're an idiot."
Right.
You know what I mean? Just
and you're hurting your future money too, also, because when Trump, there will come a time Trump be gone, and we're going to crawl back to the company for a new contract. And granted, they may still take him because he's Mick Foley.
Honestly, if it was me, after that, I take whatever we have of you on our website for merchandise, take it off.
Wow, really?
You're not making that much off of it. You don't want, you want to talk about, again, if you went away quietly and he didn't say anything, he just said, this is a personal decision.
It's the way he did it.
It's the way he did it. It's the way he did it. It's the way he's like, I can't, it's like saying that, because Linda McMahon is part of the Trump administration, because Triple H is doing this, I can't support them because they're doing it, Let me tell you something. I don't care if I liked Joe Biden or not, okay? If Joe Biden comes to me and he says, hey, do you want a job on my administration? I'm taking the damn job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, Donald Trump goes to Triple H and wants him to be part of a fitness program. Who's going to say no to that?
Yeah.
So
I get it.
That's the thing. Now, do I think Linda McMahon is qualified to be an education secretary? Absolutely.
Fuck no.
Come on. Like I said, I don't want to get.
That's a whole other
story. And I don't want to get. I don't want to get like political and stuff like that. But okay. I like to think that. I like to think that honestly, I'm Republican, but I do not support 95% of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So I'm Republican because I like Republican economics. So
you're like me 20 years ago.
Yes.
Now in NBA, so
pretty much. So.
People don't trust me. You hate talking politics, but my politics out in the open in this podcast. People know what my politics are, so it's pretty moderate, but it's also pretty.
And I would never judge anybody. I loved Rob Reiner. I don't agree with his political views, but did I like Rob Reiner, the actor, and enjoy watching his work? 1,000,000%. Was I sad? Was I sad when I saw that news? Absolutely. It was terrible. I couldn't believe it. It's like I said, he was just on The Bear and he had a really, really great role, really important role.
I gotta watch that show, bro.
It's awesome.
I gotta watch that show, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that show.
Yeah,
you watch that show, Rob?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched the third season.
It's good. The thing I love about the show is there's a couple episodes every season that just like stick. And they're like,
fuck, man, I gotta watch it. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll watch that show after the holidays are over, and then we'll check back in and we'll review it.
It's quick. They're 8-episode seasons, a half hour. You can bang it out in half a day.
Yeah, that's the best part. My wife says want to watch it too, so we'll make it happen. Anyway, Danny G, good job, man. Anything want to plug?
No. What do I have to plug?
Plug your fucking social media, bro.
Nobody cares about me.
Nobody cares about me. Smart. Wicked
smart. My Boston accent. That's about it. But nobody gives a shit about me. I
almost text you Sunday afternoon during the game when you guys were up 21-0, and I said, "Okay, so this is a Super Bowl team," and I said, "You know what? Let me not do that in the second quarter because I'll do that. Send a text to Danny, and then the Bills might come back win this game, and he might cuss me out after that."
So all right,
I'm glad I didn't send a text to you because they came back with one thing.
They did. So all right. So being from this area, like, this is the funny thing, right? People talk about, oh my God, they hate Boston because, in the 2000s, we've won a lot.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of folks like my father who are still scarred from 50 years of consistent heartbreak, right? True story. First drive this season against the Raiders score. Bing, text from my father. My God, are they gonna suck? Like one drive into the season, and then watching the game the other day, we were at my buddy's brewery, and it was me, my dad, my son's home, my buddies. It's kind of like it's weird. It's kind of like a lifelong group of friends. Like my dad and his dad actually played Little League together, then coached us in Little League together. So it's like kind of cool. And now my buddy owns a brewery, which is awesome. So they're up 21-0, and we're all celebrating. And there's my dad. This game is not over. This game is not over. What? And then they score to make it 21-7. That's it. Damn it. And then every play after that, every missed pass, and it turned out he was right.
So I can't call him spoiled. I can't call him spoiled. Brady didn't spoil him. He's still scarred.
It's not his generation and it's not my generation. It's my kid's generation. Like
that's true.
Like since my son Jake was born November 24th, 2001, in the hospital, right? His mother and I watched the game. Well, first of all, his mother and I went to the game against the Rams at Foxborough, where they lost 6-5. She was 41 weeks pregnant, ready to deliver, but she still wanted to go to the game. So we went to the game. He was born the day after Thanksgiving. He was born that Friday. Then we watched the Saints game in the hospital, and then they didn't lose, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. So Jake just turned 24 3 weeks ago. In his lifetime, he has seen 6 Super Bowls, 4 World Series, 2 NBA championships, and a
Spoiled
Stanley
motherfucker.
Cup.
Spoiled motherfucker.
And a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
No. That's not counting 3 other Patriots Super Bowl appearances, right? 2 other Celtics Finals appearances.
That's true.
2 Bruins Stanley Cup appearances.
Yep.
The Red Sox, no. They either go to the World Series and win it, or they don't go. So, but he's seen all of that in his life.
Jesus.
Bastards.
Good Lord.
Yep.
He did see my Giants beat you guys twice, though. He did see that. It's cool.
You know what? He threw a hissy fit in 2007 when they lost. He went nuts.
How's that about at 6 years old?
Yeah, he went nuts. Well, because I was always so into it. Yeah. And when me and his mom were married, she was into it too. So we would always watch the games together and stuff and everything. So yeah, he was into it, and he's into it now. He's still into it now. So
he should be. It's great. Sports is awesome, So Danny, good job as always, man. And Rob,
thank you guys.
As always, good job as always.
Be good, Mr. Bonnet.
Yeah, good to see you again, man.
Good seeing you. Talk to you guys.